real money on virtual events. Only here, the best odds and widest coverage of games from Dota 2 to Hearthstone. We have over 200,000 users registered. Join us. Prove that you are the best versed in esports. Who will get the first blood? Who will take the first Roshan? Who will win the knife round? Participate in the race of predictors and earn real money. The more bids, the more bonuses. Reward for your first deposit up to $600. esportsbets.com. Foresight, passion, and calculation.
Захват ПКБ, кулдаун по четверному! Какая просто невероятная дамага!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Starladder Season 10. The LAN finals continue right now here live in Kiev from Cyber Arena. It's going to be a BO1 match between Virtus Pro as well as Secret Team. I'm LD, of course. I'm joined here by Merleezy. What's up, buddy?
Hello.
How's it going? Excited to bring back the old duo? Well, draft's underway, so we'll hop into it momentarily, but, well, actually, we'll hop into it now. But, yeah, VP, they come into this one on paper, I think, to most people. They'll be underdogs versus Secret.
Unfortunately.
How would you rate their chances in this?
We actually just had a discussion on it, which I know
I can't hear you in here,
I know.
so.
He said 75-25. Me and Sin said 90-10.
Okay. Where do you, so did anyone else disagree with those?
Shiver just like, oh, and we'll see right now.
Okay. I think that's fair. I think it's like 80-20.
I think it's really bad for VP.
Well, this is, I don't know if this is their most important match. Secret, probably the overall favorites in this group. You've got Na'Vi, who did really well in the Starladder group stage. They've looked a bit shakier. And the Summit EU, I think in D2CL they've done fairly well, but a lot of teams did pull out of that tournament. So it's hard to say how Na'Vi's going to do, but they're on home turf here. The fans love all the Russian teams, but I mean, especially Na'Vi. This is Ukraine after all, so we'll see. We'll see. VP now, going through the draft. It's a first overall pick, Ogre. I haven't seen this team too much, as they did not elect to play the Summit, but let's see what they do.
It's the steal pick.
Yeah, they block out No-Tail. They ban his Wisp. His Shaker still remains, but they don't go that route. Secret go for the Tidehunter Mirana, and I wonder if we even see an Earthshaker ban in the next stage, just to further limit what BIGDADDY can play. Well, I mean, I still think it's a mistake to assume that his hero pool's limited. It's just the way they've chosen to draft for him has been pretty limited.
At least they banned Wisp Brew. I think I said that they should do that at their second pick, but if their first pick, it works just as well, unless they want to take a Brewmaster themselves. And Death Prophet is probably one of the most key, whatever you want to call it, keyest heroes, keenest for VP, because they need to end the game relatively early, I'd say. Like, they need to have a tower advantage by 12 and then hopefully be knocking on T3s by like 30 if they want to win versus Secret. And yeah, good hero to do so. The best, probably.
For the most part, Secret has shown not hardcore 4 Protect 1, but normally Kuroki on a very hard carry, whether it's someone who's really strong mid-game but can scale with a Wisp backing up like a PA. His Medusa's seen a lot of play. Terrorblade has been picked up quite a bit. They've also run him on the Naga, though normally it's a different way of playing Naga. Dual lane mid with a Wisp. That's been the primary Kuroki heroes. They've been on one of them now with the Terrorblade, but not focusing overly so far. A tempo controller for S4 and the Brewmaster remove. This Tidehunter could go either way. Could be an offlaner for Simba in theory. Could be S4's mid. We don't really see any support Tide lately, though.
Yeah. I don't think they needed to ban the Terrorblade. I don't think that Team Secret would have picked it up right now, and I think VP could actually use it because he's one of the carries that pushes the hardest, and it would have fit well into their strategy. But if they're scared that they're going to pick it up right then and there, then so be it.
Interesting Sven ban. Sven has been talked about. I think it was EG who first pioneered the Sven as like a counter to Death Prophet. Warcry, 16 armor for your entire team when it's maxed, and just I think they picked a Lich as well in WC, and they just basically said, we're going to stack armor. We're not even afraid of Death Prophet ult. We'll just run right into it and try and kill you anyway. VP do ban that Sven, but as for Secret, generally when they pick Sven, we did see the S4 solo mid Sven, but I'd say more often it's Kuroki played it with a Wisp at his side, so not going to be the case this game.
Yeah, they need to make things a little bit easy for Death Prophet. I think that's just going to be the key for this game. If Death Prophet gets shut down, they are just done for. And Secret, that's how they love to handle a Death Prophet. Probably roaming Mirana from Puppey and just swooping in, getting multiple kills on her and making her irrelevant until like 35 or 40, where the damage has already been done. She can't take any more towers and she just dies.
Where do you expect Secret to go? They pick up their Earthshaker, probably have their support duo with the Puppey Mirana, who, by the way, has been an absolute sniper on this hero lately. He's been hitting all of his arrows, sometimes ridiculous arrows too, like that are like threading the needle through a creep wave. They get the Earthshaker set up for that. What is their overall game plan, though? They haven't shown it yet. Where do you think they're going to take
Secret
it?
or VP?
Oh, Secret.
Secret, kill Death Prophet.
So burst damage, you're thinking?
Early roamers, early aggression.
Okay.
Like Ember Spirit maybe mid for S4.
He looked good on it the other day, actually.
Yeah,
S4?
he did.
Yeah.
VP, I think they need I think Clockwork would be pretty good for them. Something to like engage the fight and somewhat deal with Tidehunter and Earthshaker.
We've seen a lot of Timbersaw for Fly, and I'm still wondering, I guess it's an offlane Tide?
It's going to be offlane Tide, yeah. I think.
Okay.
I definitely
In that
think
case,
so.
then we know what he's playing. So we'll have a very tough lane against this Razor now. VP getting the two super annoying tank carries, Death Prophet and Razor. And pretty damn scary late game with Bloodlust to throw on that Razor, and just the extra move speed for Death Prophet will be very nice. Not to mention, Ogre can turn into a semi-carry if he gets the Aghanim Scepter. I saw No Tail like a week ago or so. He solo killed an enemy Death Prophet, got a triple multicast, then got the double multicast, and I think there was like an arrow in the middle of that, and Hero just died. So we'll see if VP have that kind of start.
It was pretty necessary for them to pick a mech hero. Viper had been banned out. Razor's a decent one. There are a couple others, but
You're
Razor's
up against a
probably
lot of
best.
AoE as well.
Yes. So another part of their formula is complete. Secrets. Need a mid hero for S4 and Kuro's hero.
What's out there for S4? His solo mid Sven won't be available. There's a Puck. Do you like Puck this game at all?
It's all right. I would say Ember's a little bit better.
Okay, so if you go Ember for him, what's the final piece to the puzzle then? Kuroki, safe lane?
It depends on what VP wants to go for. I don't know if they want to hard commit to a push or not, or if they want to get like an Enchantress and early roam on and counter like Earthshaker and Tidehunter by just playing very aggressively on them. So it depends on what VP wants to do. I'd say they pick S4's heroes right now, though. They can go for a Mag too. Mag's not bad. VP, like Death Prophet's unlikely to get a BKB like before 25, and so is Razor. And if they drag the game on that far on, it'll be pretty good too. But it's not mandatory for them.
There is a Rubik out there, and VP do need a second support, so I suppose possible if they see a Mag pick now, they go straight for the Rubik. They will go for the S4 Ember, good call there. And VP, they have a Death Prophet Silence, they have the Ogre Stun, decent lockdown, but probably not enough with the defensive supports of Secret. Moonlight Shadow, Leap Movement Speed, Fissure's the big one, and Counter-Initiated Ravage could be huge. Do they try to get more lockdown for Ember, or do they just say, screw it, we're just going to Deathball you?
They just have to pick a solid offlaner, I'd say. I'm not sure. Some teams might go for like the Centaur for extra lockdown for Ember Spirit, but I don't think it's particularly good here. There's not too many slows. There's only one slow from Gush, and
if he's quick on the Remnant, like you're never going to get him that way.
And Tidehunter's like, I don't know. You don't really want to go on him anyways as a Centaur. So
there's Doom.
Doom's all right.
Secret don't really push that hard, which is where a Doom pick you can get away with it.
I'm just worried about Doom dying a lot.
Dazzle. All right. Super Death Prophet, Super Razor. They begin to buff up their cores a bit here. Now they have Bloodlust to work with, the Grave, the Dazzle Heal, the -+ armor. A lot of additional carry potential and utility from these supports for VP. And I suppose a strong laning presence. Heal Bomb can be scary. They don't have anything to give extra illusions yet, but that could change.
It's a really strong 5-man lineup from VP. So Dazzle and Razor for the sustain with mech, and then Death Prophet for the push.
And
so
Secret already have their support, so they can't really go for like an Ancient Apparition to try and slow it down. They have good D-push, though. Fissure, Sleight of Fist.
yeah, Secret. Yeah, they just need a fighter for Kiro. It's like Gyro. It's pretty good here. Gyro is actually, I think, really good here. Other than that, Anti-Mage, they don't need the late game presence from him. They already have an Ember Spirit, and they're not really worried about going late with VP because they don't have really that much late game.
There's the other like main fighting carries is like there's Slark, Luna, Weaver are still out there. Any of those seem good to you? Or you still
Slark,
think
Luna,
or Weaver?
Weaver's all right. I don't really like Slark or Luna. PA is also very weak versus Razor, so I wouldn't like them.
And generally, Secret don't just pick a casual PA. They pick a PA with something like Ogre, Wisp. Clinks would have been another, not really team fight carry, but definitely a good aggression type hero for Kuro. Is banned out now, though the last time he played it was a bit shaky on his movements. Ended up throwing away a few lives and cost them their match on the online stage versus Alliance.
And there's a Dusa too, which Secret can go for. But again, I don't think they need to go for like a super late game. They just need a fighter that can deal with Razor and Death Prophet early.
Okay, well, you're on the ball here, man.
I know Secret, man.
Yeah,
I know Secret.
Team is not so secret, so Merlini. Gyrocopter picked up.
Gyro just fits everything that they need. They need AoE, they need follow-up for Arrow, they need follow-up for Ravage, they need follow-up for the Searing Chains from Ember Spirit. It's huge AoE, doesn't really get owned by Static Link, too, by Razor, so he's just everything what Secret needs, and Kiro likes to play him a decent amount.
And now Secret's teamfight looks devastating. Lots of good initiation from Chains, from Arrow, from Fissure. Great follow-up from Ravage and Calldown, Sleight of Fist. They have magic damage, they have physical damage.
Yeah.
The laning stage is reasonably strong.
VP should have picked a off lane in their 4th pick. I think Centaur would have been good enough for them, but now they have to go to not a top tier offlaner, unless it's Clock. Clock is I would say probably the best option available for them, but it's going to be a subpar one for them, leaving it last pick, and a lot of them banned out.
Yeah, what's it going to be for Sadoy here? Puck, okay. Instant silence, very good versus Ember. I think that's and decent to just burst down an Earthshaker.
He's so easy to kill, though.
Yeah. But they needed some lockdown for Ember this game.
It's true.
It's going to be tough to just win out early with this much deep push from Secret.
You don't have to have a lockdown for Ember. You can just 5-man and then.
But
Ember
can you really
run.
5-man into Calldown, Sleight of Fist, Ravage, Fissure?
With Death Prophet Ultimate, anything's possible.
And a mech? Believe. It can be achieved. Well, VP now, we can kind of see their game plan. I'll just maybe go around with the Puck and Ogre trying to set up kills, but just from the Death Prophet Razor Dazzle, 80% of this is focused around taking early towers, securing Roshan with Exorcism, and just out 5-manning Secret.
Yep. They have to not lose their lanes really badly. I'm still very scared for G, and that was my concern even before the draft. But now that he has Death Prophet, now they have a roaming Mirana and Earthshaker, it's even more difficult for him, unless the Dazzle's in a fantastic position, because I guess Ogre can actually protect them too. So it's up to these two supports, Mr. Yol and Mr. Jotum.
Some defensive wards would be really nice for him, but even then, Secret have such long-range initiation. With a smoke, they could still get in close enough for that initial fissure, and he'll be under the gun, G. Let's see how good the MIA calls are. And with that, we hop into our first Group B match of Starladder Season 10. Group B begins now with Secret versus VP. S4 will be playing your Ember Spirit going mid. Puppy on the support Mirana. He's been devastating on this hero as of late. Simba, Charlie, formerly known as Fly, will be playing your offlane Tidehunter. Kuroki handling the carry Gyrocopter, and that leaves Big Daddy No Tail, damn it, I said the full thing, as the support Earthshaker. For VP, Sadoy on the offlane Puck, that puts Yol onto his roaming support Ogre Magi. Already Smoke and Boots picked up, looking for a lot of early aggression. G, a lot on his shoulders on that solo mid Death Prophet. That leaves Jotum on the support Dazzle. No early teleport scroll, but he may pick one up just in case those ganks happen mid, and that leaves BZZ as perfect, or 633 as he's currently going by, on the safe lane Razor.
So VP's already dropped both wards, and both of them are on the runes. The bottom one I don't really think is going to scout out anything well, but how many smokes does Secret have? 0.
Yeah, Secret only dropped their one observer ward here near the lane bottom. But that will give them good vision, and the only rotations you really have to worry about is this Ogre. Dazzle's not likely to roam very much early. No support Shadow Demon to combo with him or anything like that. But this will secure a lot of early farm for Kuroki. Also let them know if they can maybe rotate bottom and set up a fissure block into an arrow gank. Overall, do you favor Secret at the draft here, Ben? Sounded kind of like you were tilting that way.
I think so. I think they have the tools necessary to shut down Death Prophet. They're also playing to their strengths. I think that they usually just leave Fly alone, so a hero that doesn't necessarily need farm. Like Tidehunter is very good for them. A very aggressive mid for S4, tempo controller, and good killers for Puppey and No-Tail. And a hero that can do a lot in the early game with Kuro. So I think they're draft suited their players very well. VP, the Dazzle seems like slightly out of place because I don't know if he's going to be able to do that much versus Tidehunter or play greedy enough to the point where he's relevant to his items, and he's not that great at counter ganking versus her lineup, so he's the one weak point that I don't really like. But other than that, I think their draft is fairly solid. Puck maybe too might struggle a lot versus Gyrocopter.
S4 gets the better creep block mid, and, well, G does manage to get the range creep killed off, so he'll be on the high ground for now, but this wave will push, unless S4 can find his deny. Still, this prevents any early rotations. Jottam bound back up on the Dire Hill. Yol making his way up 2 ramps. No Radiant Vision of this. They only have that 1 lane ward, but the ping did come out from the Mirana of Puppey. Maybe just has a sense. I'm not sure if he got any vision on Yol earlier. Now he'll lumber towards bottom lane, and already Kuro gets the pings from his buddy. He'll retreat out. They may get that initial Fire Blast off, but they also may turn on Yol if they find this arrow from Puppey. For now, just happy to farm the creep cap. So the off lane for Secret, it's not going to be easy for Simba.
Look at Jottam. Sure. He's just expecting a gank in mid. So, I mean, the game plan from Secret should be fairly predictable, but they're actually playing in a pretty unpredictable manner by Puppey just creep pulling at the start instead of putting any pressure onto Death Prophet. And this just completely wastes the Dazzle's time. He's level 1, no experience at all. The 2 supports aren't even that close, and looks like Yol might actually be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, it's one of those, the threat of the gank is at least as strong as the gank itself. Jottam's getting nothing on a hero that needs levels. Dazzle, all 3 skills important to max, at least 2 of them if you're going pure support, just at, maxing out your Grave as well as your heal. But Yol will continue the rotations, this time going on to mid. He spots S4, then just takes a tower shot and backs off. And while that's happening, the real action happens bottom lane. Sadoy just barely able to jaunt. No-Tail was trying to hold the fissure for the perfect timing, but Sadoy already has phase shift, so it's tough to just hold the fissure, not knowing when he's going to phase shift. And now a little skirmish at the bottom rune. Ogre picking up that, giving some good clubs to his buddy, the Earthshaker. But Big Daddy will just retreat out. And now the rotation towards top lane. Dazzle will finally heave off a mid.
He can't do anything. The Tidehunter is already level 3. And on the bottom lane, Kuro picking up an early ring of Basilius, maybe looking to take this tower down early. But again, Sadoy's not easy to kill too. So both of these offlaners should feel relatively safe at this point in time. And G with the haste rune should be immune for the next couple of minutes unless he tanks an arrow to the face.
The only big trade I'm seeing here is, besides the Dazzle being slow on its levels, the Tidehunter is not getting farm. Whereas the offlane Puck of Sadoy is 11-1. He's having a much better time in the offlane overall, and I'd say Secret have also invested a lot more in trying to shut him down with that 3-hero rotation.
Yeah, but they're also pulling a lot more too. At the same time, yeah, Jottam is able to get a lot of experience from this double camp.
And Sadoy continues to be a pest. As mid lane they've gone in now trying to focus on S4, who dove really far. A Crypt Swarm will find him. Now they chase in with G having a haste rune. Could well be your first blood, juking in the trees perhaps. One more auto attack secures the kill. The final Crypt Swarm does it. And they force out a teleport scroll. VP off to a hot start here. S4 just got cocky way up on the high ground, and they just ran him down.
Yeah, very well played by VP. This Ogre is doing exactly what's necessary. He's running to the opponent's jungle to scouting out where the supports are because they don't really have the damage to kill him unless Gyrocopter or the Ember Spirit is there. And then he's playing aggressive on S4 since their supports are playing very passively.
So they're getting a slightly better trade in the offlane right now. They're forcing out rotations, and now they're going in bottom. Onto Kuroki, they'll hit the orb. Do they commit for this? Arrow actually hits a creep, though it looked like it went past it. Sadoy will phase shift just in case. Not quite enough damage to bring down Kuroki, but the roaming Ogre has been fairly successful. Pressure onto Kuroki.
S4.
Hold that thought, G. And S4 duking out. 4-minute runes can spawn. It's an Idviz. S4 will claim it. And G will be a bit sad about this one. Another bounty rune for Yol. I think that's 2 or 3 for him. He's getting that early experience. Important for the roaming Ogre, to be honest. And between that and the kill, he's in good shape.
Yeah, they also have like a triple stack here to work with for Death Prophet later. So, yeah, I mean, G is on his way to ball out of control.
Oh, they're setting up G. Well, not anymore.
Right as I said that.
You jinxed him, Ben. They'll jump in mid. They had to change the start. Jottam arrives. He'll grave and heal. Did he grave a bit too early? Secret continue to chase him out. It looks like it's the right time. They don't want to risk it. Then the Ogre comes in. The stun, the follow-up nukes. Yol finds the trade. 2-0 for VP.
These supports are playing extremely well. I mean, yeah, Jotun was sitting there for a couple of minutes, but he knows what Secret's going to do. They're going to try and kill a Death Prophet. And the window where she's really weak has passed. She's almost level 6 now. She has her phase boots and her bottle, and she's already been saved by her 2 supports. So very well played by Jotun and Yul.
And the other thing during this time is they're no longer doing much in the jungle. We don't see any stacks for the Gyrocopter or the Ember Spirit. Just we'll check the other 2 caps. These right here that can really take advantage. And
Kuro.
now the Ogre bottom. Kuro, this could be trouble from Sidoi. Lurching forward, they're going for it now. Kuro's trapped out. There's your stun. The orb to follow. Yul, he keeps on coming up flush. These rotations for Ogre on point. 1-0 and 2 been involved in every single kill. And Secret supports in comparison. Marana, Earthshaker, very potent ganking duo, but just not getting the job done. VP are outplaying that Secret for now.
Yeah, they're going to have to rely on Tidehunter and Ember to carry a little bit of the weight in the 8 through 15-minute phase, because their ultimates and mobility are going to be really key to shutting down VP.
6-minute rune about to spawn. Secret looking for the double rune, and it looks like they'll get it too. No real contest here. It'll be a bounty rune for Puppey bottom, and then S4 with the timely regen top. This means no foul trips required.
Ooh, I thought he might have been...
Not again. Kuro might end up dropping here. They're rotating Sidoi. He's got coil now. He whiffed on the ultimate. If Yul can get off a slow, they maybe get this kill. Is there an orb from Sidoi? It might be too far to dive. Yeah, they're not going to risk that. But the threat is there.
And in the top lane, Razor is almost doubling Fly's CS right now.
What a deft Ogre. He runs right by the arrow Puppey, then turns around onto Big Daddy No-Tail. There's 3 heroes coming. He throws out the slow as well. He'll juke through the tree line. Now he's going to run around the other direction. He's going to head towards the bottom lane. Sidoi's there to back him up. 3 heroes from Secret, unable to even corner an Ogre. How can you miss him? He's too beastly right now. They actually was a 4-hero rotation. Even S4 came into the woods.
He's so tanky. So tanks, man.
Tanky and apparently very surprisingly agile.
Yeah, it was a very good move for them to pick him up first, though. Huge deny pick, very good at shutting down Secret's aggression in the early game, and this early game has gone very well for VP, about as well as you can expect.
And their cores do go pretty damn late. Dazzle and Razor with Bloodlust at their side. Sure, Secret is a really strong 5-man, but if VP get BKBs and have enough farm, like they can just fight through all this nukage and probably even out DPS Secret, who will be looking for the big 5-man combos to turn this game around now.
With Weave, certainly, they have the damage.
There is a Ravage up on Simba. He does have a max Anchor Smash. It's not quite enough to kill off BZZ, though, and in fact, BZZ nearly finishes him, lashing him back, whipping him into shape, and forcing him off the tower, too. I just can't believe how much this puck has gotten on the offlane bed. Sidoi is level 7. He's got his treads, bottle. They sent multiple heroes to gank him and have tried to pressure him all game, but they just haven't been able to kill him.
I think Gyro usually wins that one-on-one matchup, but Ogre Magi was like constantly in that lane, just ready to kill him. And I mean, he already killed him once. So let's see if S4 can get this kill on top.
Both teams making their moves right now. BZZ starts stealing S4's damage. He won't have the follow-up to get this kill. There's a Grave waiting. It'll be used now, but Simba comes in. Ravage is ready, lets it fly, hits on 3. Sidoi couldn't get off the silence in time. The Fissure secures that first kill. Then the Coil looks for the trade. Fly will end up dropping, it looks like. G rotating with Exorcism at the ready. Kuro joins the fight as well. Big commitment from Secret and a big win for them. Now they'll corner Sidoi and look to bring him down. Looking to make the 2-for-3 exchange. He tries to orb out. Can he escape? He gets healed up. Then the Remnant Fall from S4. Still surviving there this time. Gets off the chains. That'll end him now. It makes it a 3-for-2 in the end and a much-needed teamfight victory for Secret.
They had too much burst to kill Death Prophet. She's very farmed at this point. She has phase, drums, and bottle, but she still died very quickly because she was out of position.
Yeah, the angle that she came from was like right into Kuroki.
It was just not good at all, and Gyro just excels at that kind of fighting. And yeah, I mean, Kuro with the rotation, very timely, and S4 putting pressure on the Razor.
They really did need that, though. Without that, I think you have to start worrying, but it now keeps things manageable. Still, it was up to a 4,000 gold lead, now down to 2,500, favoring Team VP. Experience almost back to dead even on the back of that fight.
Well, they also wasted the first Exorcism, too, which is really big.
That's true. Didn't take a tower, didn't take a Roshan.
Didn't even get a kill.
Yeah. And died on the Death Prophet. 2-1-1. Still, things looking okay here for VP. They have the lead. They're working towards their mech on the Razor. The Death Prophet with drums complete can now begin to build that Yule Scepter. Nice form of disengage and potentially saving her life and interrupt. Basically a combo breaker for all the chain stun from Secret. And Ravage was committed. And I wonder if there's an opportunity now for VP to try and do something. Puck ult is cooling down. Maybe you don't find a huge team or a tower or Roshan, but perhaps just a pick-off here or there to help continue expanding your lead.
Yeah, they don't really have a good way to force any issues besides Death Prophet Ultimate too, so they can't really make a really deep move into that. Tidehunter working on the Ancient stack too, so he's going to have his mech up at a very opportune time.
He may have it before the the Razor. What's Razor got? Just the headdress? Is there anything on the Courier? No, nothing in the base either.
That death set him back a lot. He didn't even get the kill on the earlier hero. So.
And now Secret continue the aggression. Smoke from Puppey and S4. They have the max Flame Guard. Very potent killing duo. Pretty much anyone who's caught by this will die. G would be one of the worst heroes to drop, and he gets caught by a chains to start. And now the arrow follow-up. Call down was used. They really want this G kill. They'll get it to the most farmed hero on VP. Again, plummeting. And that will also secure the comeback for S4. He's right back in this one after giving up that early kill to the Ogre.
So they really have to play better around the Death Prophet. She is first pick because she can just absolutely destroy towers if given sufficient space. But they protected her very well in the first like 6 or 7 minutes. But the last 2 times, well, firstly, it was just G running in. And then now they're just not pushing towers down with her and just not making good use of the hero in general.
Do they need to wait for the mech at this point? What's the holdup for VP?
I think the supports just need to stick with her a little bit more and interrupt any sort of chain stuns on her. Like Ogre just needs to be in front to tank arrows for her at this point, just because she's that crucial to keep alive. And Secret, they don't really have that much past their initial volley of like Ravage plus Gyrocopter ult plus like a maybe Arrow plus Fissure. Whereas VP, they can just charge on in with Razor, Ogre, pretty low cooldown stun, charge in with Exorcism, and just try and wear them down after that first initial volley.
All right, let's see if VP can keep that Death Prophet alive. That's now 2 deaths for G, and it was in as many minutes. And Secret begin to just wait for their opportunities to take big fights. Earthshake will rotate towards bottom. They've got a missile coming on Sidoi. Arrow, way off the mark. He's got a phase shift. Will successfully dodge that one. And this is now also spotted out by a Dire Observer Ward, so good luck killing this offlane puck. Still no Blink Dagger close for him, and it is a slight issue for VP. They don't really have any initiation outside of that Blink for the puck. Unless Ogre walks in, but as this game goes on, that gets more difficult to pull off.
Yeah, no like late game-ish items being bought for Secret, except maybe an HOD coming out from Gyrocopter looking to stack up those Ancients. So VP, if they spot the Morbid Mask as well as knowing that the Titan's on another team, they have to try and contest that or take down the T1 in mid, so it's much more difficult for them to take it out. And it looks like VP starting to group up right now.
Yeah, it's not just the supports that do the stacking. S4 happy to contribute there. And while that happens, VP do begin their descent on this top lane. Inching forward towards the Tier 1 tower. Glyph is not available for Secret. Was already used elsewhere on the map. And they'll get a new one after this Tier 1, but with Exorcism popped, don't see any defense in sight from Secret yet. Kuro's hiding in the trees, though. Looks like they want to contest it. Ravage is also ready. They're bringing in S4 from the side. Exorcism will still go for a bit longer. They clear out the creep wave, but they don't have any creeps of their own to tank. Do they risk it with the Death Prophet? G inching closer. And S4, he's ready to jump in now. We're going to have a little clash here. BZZ caught out, but the quick multicast on S4, trying to buy them time. Ravage really doesn't get anything accomplished. BZZ now Grave from the high ground, kept alive for ages. The turn will probably come now. A Remnant in again from S4, just in case he goes down. Another multicast searching. It's a Tidehunter for a Razor with a Ravage expended. They did not get the tower yet, though, and now S4 is on the chase. Surging forward onto Jotun, will find him. Chains cooling down, Arrow connects, that's a kill. Confirmed on the Jotun, he can heal and try and live, but S4 is looking for the next kill. Finds the Ogre Magi at his own Tier 1. No multi-guess this time, immediate TP out attempted, no Fissure, no Arrow. He'll make his way out. A 2-for-1 exchange with all the big cooldowns pretty much used, except for Sidoi's puck. Sidoi is just sitting bottom, pushing in this tower. Feels like if that puck was top, it could have made a big difference.
Yeah, and that was why Secret were so aggressive in that fight. That was with a completely whiff Ravage, hit 0 heroes, but at the same time VP didn't have their Death Prophet ultimate. So they just really need to start taking towers. I think probably she could have tanked the towers since Secret doesn't have any Blink Initiate. They can just keep her alive with the Weave, which they already had stacked on her, as well as a Grave, which is level 2 at this point. So BP maybe not playing aggressively enough because G's been scared of dying, as he well should be, but that's because Dazzle hasn't been there.
Be afraid, G. Be very afraid, because Secret have a great Observer Ward in your woods. This just spotted everybody rotating in. The Ogre charges forward, but he walks into everybody. Harrow's waiting for him. Fissure's there. Hell, why not use a call down? Anything to bring down that oaf. And the oaf is dead. Well, at least it was the Ogre, not a core. Still, they continue to pile up these kills and pull the game right back. Now the score 7-6 after a rough start. Secret right back in it, keeping the gold close, surging ahead in experience. And I think most importantly, like you said, VP still yet to take a tower with a Death Prophet, a Dazzle, an Ogre, and a Razor. All of these heroes push well, Ben, but they just haven't gotten it done.
Moonlight Shadow.
Tower denied. No, not quite right. It was actually very early on that, but...
And they finally get a tower. Secret through whatever they had, but now they know Exorcism's up. They don't really want to fight into that.
So we need to wait on the Ravage. 20 seconds.
Tidehunter actually might be going for a Blink. They do need that quick initiate too, and if they get a Blink Ravage on these guys without any BKB, and Razor still actually doesn't even have his mech on him yet.
I feel like most of this game right now, to me, it's kind of on Sedoy, because he's their only initiator, and if he doesn't get off a good Silence Coil, they get an amazing Ravage initiation, more likely than not, and how do you win the fight from there if you're VP? If your Dazzle just dies immediately, I feel like the fight's just over.
As long as G doesn't die, I think they're okay. I would say
it's squishy though.
It's on Sedoy and the Dazzle.
Okay. Yeah, it's a tough game for Dazzle though. There's just so much AoE. He's got boots and a bracer, lots of long range initiation. Jadam's gonna have to play his positioning perfectly.
Here we go. Is there a Blink Dagger on Fly? Yes, there is.
They have a glyph. They're going to use it now as well.
This is going to catch them completely off guard, too. They're in a good position to defend G, but that's...
And S4's invis.
Pending they walk up.
Tower's already down, and they come in. Ravage connects, this time on 3. The heal's there from Jadam. Didn't get caught in it. The Fissure actually blocking them away. And now the turn comes. They go right back in on S4, looking for Fly as well. They already lost Kuro as the fight began, and now S4 turns with the chains. Silence was timed, but not quite right. Still they get the stun, and S4 will drop 2. 2 cores down. Your Mirana limping back towards the well. Arrow fishing, but finds nothing. And yeah, when that fight started, they just lost the gyrocopter off the bat. Great fight again from VP, and Jadam's positioning really bailed them out. Got off the heel, had the Grave ready to go if needed, and Secret just did not have the follow-up with the gyrocopter dying so quickly.
Where was the Earthshaker fissure to save Gyro? That's one of the reasons why they have him.
He fissured like here, I think, from the high ground. I believe that was Earthshaker.
But
he actually ended up saving the Death Prophet with that.
Yeah, they didn't protect the Gyro that fight. He is a heavy amount of damage with Max Flak and Max Calldown at this point, or Max Rocket Barrage and Max Flak at this point. They need his burst.
VP did not even qualify initially for Starladder. Then when the Chinese teams dropped out, it was them and Cloud9 who were invited to take their place. Too late to find any other Chinese teams and had visa issues anyway, and so far, they're getting the better of Secret from top to bottom this game. With that fight, it's now a 5,000 gold lead. Experience goes right back the other way, and the Courier just got sniped. Perseverance picked off. It was Sedoy who brought it down. Another play for the puck. That means your battle, well, he wouldn't have Battle Fury anyway, so not the biggest deal, I suppose, but still a nice little pick there for the puck, and a lot of additional gold into VP's pockets. Extend their lead to 6K plus now.
Gyrocopter is pretty poor. He's not poor relative to the Razor, but compared to the all of net worth of VP, we see Death Prophet largely ahead on 9,000 gold, and Ember Spirit and Gyro are just pretty far behind. And yeah, the Perseverance doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but Gyrocopter's farm certainly does.
Yeah, and it's more the fact that VP are just getting more gold, and their team needs that gold. Razor and Death Prophet, very important for them to continue to tank up, and they're getting there. Do VP begin to go for tier 2s, Ben? I guess that's the main question now. Or do they need something else before they can force it?
I think they can, but they don't want to trade towers in the meantime because Secret is still in that phase where they really need towers to come from behind.
So they time the silence right for G. He attempts it, but S4 will zip out through the Remnant just in the nick of time. Still, he's not allowed to push. Whereas VP are. They've taken the tier 1. Still no towers going the way of Secret. And as we've talked a lot about VP's push, the truth is Secret have almost nothing. Ember's terrible at taking towers. Gyro's not too great. These supports don't do much. They have to win a big team fight if they want any tower gold.
Yeah, or try and trade. But their lineup is geared toward defending towers, so VP don't necessarily want to fall in that trap, but at the same time they don't... Oh, Sedoy.
Sedoy, he's played this one so well, but he will end up getting punished. Multicast on the Kuro, now Arrow, straight down the river. Ogre too big to dodge that one. This should be a 2-0, unless more VP heroes come in to defend. And G's close to getting caught by chains. S4 found him. Not sure if they can go too much further. They're going to try for it. Ravage is ready. Where's that Dazzle Grave? Staying out of range of the Ravage, but also in range to Grave. Great positioning there again from Jottam will prevent a total calamity for VP.
Man, that was a nice play by Fly. He tried to bait out the Yules, and then if she Yules, she's definitely dead. So he fake casted him, but he didn't buy it.
And now they get that tower, it looks like. Heroes are going to respawn here in about 5 seconds. Maybe not. Glyph was used to hold it. And what it does allow them, though, Ben, is some good aggressive wards. Puppey plants one down here. He may refresh this ward in the Dire jungle. And as I say that, there was a fissure. Arrow off the mark, searching for BZZ. VP can't really do anything about this because there was no Ravage used. Maybe they try and sneak a Roche. That seems to be the way they're headed.
VP shouldn't be the one responding to secret pushing, though. It should be the opposite way around. So you can see the power shift slowly going to secret because VP doesn't have access to any easy towers to push, which is ideally where they want to fight at the T1s, but they don't really have the resources to defend against a split push and push themselves on the T2s, and that's why you see them in this position. But with the Aegis, they can be a lot more aggressive.
The downside here for Secret is when Puppey went to plant these wards in the Dire jungle, means no wards near the Roche pit. Not sure they could have contested that, just tough to get there in time, but either way, VP take a freebie.
6-3-3, he is prime food.
Yeah,
no Aegis.
This is looking like fresh meat.
No BKB.
And they don't have like a Tidehunter TP Ravage to turn this. In fact, Puppey even leaps in, but right as they're trying to cinch the noose, BZZ jumps off the milk crate and backs off. They'll miss their opening here. G now, well, maybe he's the one that walks in. That's your Aegis. Could be going down momentarily. He Yules, manages to dodge that arrow. Well timed by him. Now the fissure comes through, connects on 3, but do they really want to engage into the Aegis of G? They'd have to commit a Ravage for this, and they don't want to do it. So they'll back off in the end. Good reactions there by G. Good rotation by VP. And the tower will not be denied. So Secret's still getting a victory here. Looks like they'll get out safely. Chains, just to prevent any follow-up chase. Yeah, they get the tower, finally. First of the game for them.
Nice maneuvers by Secret. They try and get an easy pick. They know it's not there, and they squeeze back for the tower.
Oh, they almost found Jottam. If they find him, that's probably the one hero that you can hit that will just let you force the fight.
They want to fight before the BKBs come up, and Razor is just 1,300 gold away, Death Prophet about 200 gold away. So they're in a spot where BKBs could mow them down.
Yeah, what do you do with that? You've got Flat Cannon, Sleight of Fist. G gets caught up mid, Fissure, Arrow, both of them used. He's just way out on his own. I mean, try as his team might to keep this Aegis alive. If he just struts up the mid lane after 4 just were shown rotating down, eventually he'll get caught. And, well, no, not sure why we're getting a fight recap. Obviously, the only loss there is the Aegis, but it's also the momentum to feel confident about this next push for VP.
And Earthshaker's Blink Dagger is coming very soon, too. Another instant lockdown.
And BKB also out for the Gyro. Though there's a lot more physical damage on VP. Arrow again! These pickoffs for Secret.
He was placing a sentry ward in mid, and as he placed a sentry ward, they were all right on top of him.
Yeah, D-ward this. Tough times.
Now they can't really defend the tower. If they had the Aegis, they could, but without it, G's too vulnerable. Not without BKB.
Maybe they can. Secret aren't going for it. That's one way to defend your tower. Hope the enemy team doesn't push. They'll get a Force Staff on the Tide at the same time that BKB comes out on G. Will he have the quick reactions to dodge these? Another arrow. It's on Sadoy mid. Now they go in with their missile follow-up and the Ravage, but it's dodged by Phase Shift G. Can he get off the Yule Scepter in the nick of time? Now the nuke's coming out from the Ogre, trying to finish somebody off. They've got a Dazzle in reserve. G will pop his ult. BKBs were used here. Kurogi trying to retreat. Another Sleight of Fist and a Blink, a Silence, a Coil that caught 3. Kurogi will break it, just trying to run the hell away. They can't fight against this. Too much damage from VP. 3 heroes fall. Sadoy bailing them out, and he's looking to make it 4. Sim on the run. There's a Silence, not even needed. The Orb does it. Had a few seconds to go on that Silence. VP wiped the floor with Secret again and surge forward. A 3,500 gold swing nearly. A tier 2 down. They won't have an Exorcism for high ground, Ben, but 1 or 2 more fights like that and Secret may be looking at racks down. They gotta be careful from here.
Man, that Ravage just came a quarter of a second too late. He was able to phase shift it. If he doesn't phase shift it, he's dead. Yeah, and then they don't get that catch.
You're right. It was not, of all the heroes who dodged, it was the hero that won them the fight. The hero that got the 3 hero coil, multiple hero silence, multiple hero orbs, and chased them all down. Yeah, if he dies there, they don't lose that.
Sadoy destroyed them that fight.
He's been continuing to impress in this game. Certainly not one of the most well-known offlaners, in, at least in the English-speaking community, but he is showing up today at a big moment for VP.
Well,
Does Secret just turtle at this point? Do you
No,
think?
they can still
Smoke
get
ganks?
picks. They really need to blink dagger on Earthshaker before they do anything. They just need to be able to pick someone off immediately with a big blink echo or blink ravage, and they haven't been able to do that, judging by the last couple of team fights. And VP just been outplaying them.
Ward now dropped down by Puppy, but you can see kind of the change in tone from these wards. Before it was a ward up here, it was this one, which I think eventually got dewarded, and then instead now he's turned to defensive observer wards, perhaps Secret feeling like they're more on the back foot. Still, they've got an Ember who can split push, and there's not too much to gank him. If the puck doesn't get a jump on this Ember, there's just no way he dies. And S4 does close in on his Battle Fury now. They have a lot of AoE to clear out these waves. Flat Cannon, Echo Slam, Ravage. Certainly a VP 5-man. Secret will be pretty strong on the defense. They continue to farm Kuro, but for now, they don't quite have the items they need to really force those fights.
Yeah, still VP have to proceed very, very carefully. Ideally, they need Aegis to push high ground, and they can't clump at all. If they clump, Earthshaker will just destroy them. So,
and it's at least 3 minutes, could be as much as 6. That's a lot of time for these Secret heroes to farm.
Sidoi does have a lot of gold, though. Looks like his Scythe of Vice is coming in just about 800 gold. And then a lot of options are available to them. They can just kill the split pushers or initiate on the BKB Gyro. And then just BKB and rush him down before
Yol walking in, but the Fissure actually pushing Yol out of position, so the arrow doesn't end up hitting him. That's pretty unfortunate for Big Daddy. Ember going to retreat out in one direction. Ogre will just nuke down that creep wave. There's no Roche, though, so nothing they can turn to after this, but that Fissure was pretty unfortunate, man. It looked like it pushed him out of the arrow path.
And VP is just doing really well at defending this T1 in mid.
I thought you said MVP for a second, but you said end. Oh. No MVP this time around in Starladder. And now Secret will go for another gank. This one's a smoke, though. Big Daddy, Puppy, as well as Simba congregating. And Sidoi blinks in to grab a rune. What a costly time to go for one. Oh, the good luck for Secret. You can't count on that, but they'll certainly take it. They didn't even have, they might have seen the puck moving through the jungle, but they definitely didn't see him about to blink in.
They really needed this tower because it just helps VP control Roshan so much, and they can't afford to give another Aegis to G so easily. And on top of that, that slows down Puck's sheep by a couple minutes.
Yeah, oh no, I think he already bought it.
No,
he didn't. Okay.
He had like 400 gold, and then he lost it all.
Okay, yeah, he had a decent streak going there. And Secret will take the tier 1, or at least try to in the mid lane. VP not trading. They don't go for the tier 2 bottom. They don't come to defend mid just yet. They just farm the enemy woods. They just sack the tower. And that's S4 now with the first damage item up. They also have an Alpha Wolf backing them up, so this Ember, as well as Gyrocopter, can hit extremely hard. It's only Jadam who split pushes, but they're going to catch him out now. Puppy rotating in the bottom lane. Jadam will throw out his ultimate, but he pays for this. Tries to grave. They're saving plenty of stuns. They have Echo Slam ready to go. They have an Enchant Totem. They may, no, not even needed. One more poke of that sword will bring him down.
Yeah, he was. I don't know if.
I don't know how Dazzle's supposed to split push like that and get away with it, to be honest.
Still, Kiro farming up a lot too. He's actually managed to overtake the Razor in terms of net worth, dominating Alpha Wolf to add a little bit to his damage. He doesn't have that much farm though, compared to the Death Prophet at least.
It just feels like a tenuously balanced game. You know, one good fight for VP, they could break base with the next Roche coming up. One good team fight for Secret, they will probably have the gold lead. They'll have like 2 items on the Ember and the Gyro, and it might just be too much right-click from there for VP to turn this.
Yeah, the big players now are Earthshaker, Tidehunter, and Puck. Pretty much the 3 Blink heroes. Because they all have instant disables now.
That's where it's nice to have 2, you know? Less pressure when you've got somebody to back up your Tidehunter.
Sidoi has been delivering.
Well, aside from that one pick off top, but that was just timing more than anything working out for Secret. There will be a bounty rune spawning bottom. It's an illusion picked up for Puppy top. Both teams just standing off, kind of eyeing each other as they continue to farm. There will now be an S4 movement along with the rest of his team. He's going to join them with Moonlight Shadow. They head towards top. So they're already on the blink out. He may need to orb as well just to get safely back to his tower in time. S4's closing the distance. Looks like it'll be too late. He actually went for the chains, just anticipated a straight run back. And I think Sidoi somehow spotted that out. He pinged anyway, suspecting that rotation. Yeah, I don't think he actually got vision on it, though.
So Scythe of Ice will be completed by Sidoi.
And they get a point booster on Razor, a Reaver on the Death Prophet. The items are still coming out for VP. What can they do with this site? That feels like it could be the decider for VP over the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, if they sheep Kuro and burst him down before BKB, that fight is over. Even if they sheep him and they don't kill him with BKB, Razor will be on top of him with a BKB of his own. He can't do any damage because of Static Link.
This could be so big for VP. BZZ lurches forward. He's got his BKB ready. They're going to hex him at a start. He will have a Ravage. He's 4-stepped out. He's too low to fight now. Exorcism was also used. They only lose the Tidehunter, not the biggest loss.
That's really good for Secret.
Yeah, the Exorcism was expended. BKBs were used. Actually, I believe only the one. Yeah, G didn't use his.
Yeah, and the creep wave was already at the T2 tower, so there's no way VP can turn this into an easy push without Tidehunter.
And Roshan's already up. Imagine if they had Exorcism right now. They could just be taking Rosh.
Yeah.
But this will be, what is it going to be, like a minute and a half or so, maybe a little bit less, where, no, more like a minute and a half, where Death Prophet doesn't have ult and Ravage is up. We might see Secret just go for a big smoke or play right now. Sidoi bottom lane caught out. Big Daddy got him with the Blink Echo Slam initiation, followed it up with an Enchant Totem Fissure, and Puppey was there to secure the kill from the level 4 arrow. Another pick for Secret, so they equalize things. And considering the investment in each of those kills, not a good trade at all for VP.
Yep, S4 is making headway on his items too. Chrysalis and Battle Fury complete.
Again, this combo just keeps on delivering. Fissure from Big Daddy, the arrow follow-up. VP got to stop walking in bottom because it is not paying off for them at all.
Yeah, whenever they split up, terrible things happen.
That's putting it mildly. And Puppey will use this opportunity to get a good ward down. Maybe not. He thought about it. He's
Kuro in mid.
Set with the arrow as well. And Kuroki in the meantime, engaging onto G. Well, not much going to happen
Force
there.
out a BKB, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Wasn't actually needed at all, but he didn't know who else was sitting behind him. So nice play from Kuro, and now works towards this butterfly. Not really the best solution to the Death Prophet and Razor. There's still a lot of physical damage from them that can't be evaded, but
it's still good armor too.
Yeah. And it's a lot of damage for Gyro as well. 60 damage, good attack speed to get your flat cannons out faster. Certainly not shabby. Puppey will drop a ward, immediately dewarded, and now top lane. BZZ starts for a bit of a dive. Immediate rotation from Secret. They Moonlight Shadow instantly. They're on to BZZ, but he's already TP'd out. Too late. Radiant Creep actually got vision. He could have tried for a Ravage there, but...
Yeah, they could have Ravaged. That would have been great for them. He knew that a lot were bottom. Puppey just dropped an Observer Ward, got dewarded, but they saw at least
Roche
two.
Now. They know. Did they actually see that rotation? Because they have an Observer Ward here. I'm not sure who they spotted. Free Roche, I guess.
Yep, free Roche. He wants to scout it out. He wants Kuro to scout it out, I think, but...
Kuro wants his Alpha Wolf, man. Helps him farm. Can't throw that thing away. That's your trusted ally, man's best friend. They're not using Exorcism, though. VP going for the slower Roche play, but if this is not contested, then they have Exorcism for the high ground push, or the tier 2's top and bottom if they want to force it.
This is probably the best time for them to break high ground. G has his heart completed. As you said, Exorcism is up, and Aegis and Secret just haven't had that much time to recover from their mid-game loss in team fights.
Roche.
Gold lead is only 2,500, though.
On a knife's edge we are right now. They're leaving the Earthshaker in the trees. Big Daddy says, I'm not going on this. He'll back off. And we'll see VP most likely de-push these side lanes, and then they'll make their choice. Do they go tier 2? Do they go straight high ground? They've got the options laid before them. But they have seen the Ember Spirit's item progression. The Crystallis has been out. Closing in on a Daedalus now is 2,100 gold. The Gyrocopter. Butterfly nearly complete for Kuroki.
The biggest problem is they can't push out lane safely alone. And if they don't push it out alone, they'll lose the T2 when they go for the T2. So they're in this really difficult position right now where they need to try and kill one of Secret's heroes and then just go down mid really fast.
Secret are really trying to avoid this 5v5 confrontation, or at least make it favorable. Immediately as soon as Fly sees a feud mid, he blinks in top and he Anchor Smashes. He was hiding in the tree line before it. They are well aware that they don't want to let VP get to their high ground, and they're doing everything in their power to slow it.
They only have to do it for a couple more minutes. Actually, 4 more minutes, but looks like they're just not going to give any hoots about top tower and go for the gold.
Well, to be fair, it's a Tidehunter and there's a Glyph. This will be a fairly slow tower. Those tier 2s also have more armor than they used to. But in we go. Sidoi joining G. Exorcism used immediately. Arrow will connect. G just face tanks it. Come at me, he says. An Aghanim Scepter ultimate now, also pumped by the Razor, and no defense in sight. Kuroki is split pushing bottom lane. They're going to use Moonlight Shadow to try and engage S4. Going for a chains. No, just a sleight of fist to start. The tower will drop very quickly. So the Yule Scepter comes out from the Death Prophet. VP still at full HP, very healthy through this push. Where's that initiation? Another arrow from Puppey. Not on the mark this time. It seems VP want to back, but Secret don't want to let them get away for free. They chase in. With Simba in the front, he's got a 4-staff Blink Ravage. He can get in range for someone, most likely. Blinking? No, too late. They wanted the Fissure to start that, and a bit quick on the blink out. Sadoy able to retreat. A clean tier 3 takedown. No losses. It is 2 minutes without Exorcism, but Secret know the next time VP will break base unless they get some kills. And they're looking for G. He's got his plate mail online. Can they get off the permanent chain? They don't even want to bother trying, man. They don't know what's behind him, and they just know how tanky he is.
Still, VP can't really push next time. They have 2.5 minutes left on Aegis, and about I don't know if that's enough.
I think they'll have like
cooldown.
45. They're gonna have like a minute and a half, right? Exorcism up in 70. Maybe.
It's a very tight window.
It is, and if you lose that, then, well, then Secret are gonna come right back down, take your towers, and take the lead. They'll deny this tier 2 top though. It means Secret will have to take longer to get all the way to the high ground if they want to trade, and they're not really a base race lineup. They'll have to come and defend. 2 minutes to go on the Aegis, 45 seconds on Exorcism. It'll be a minute and 15-second window, but that's assuming VP are already at the base with Exorcism ready.
Looks like they want to do it.
They're grouping for it. They're painting out their own woods, but they're heading towards, well, maybe they're going for a tier 2. They're kind of heading towards bottom now, wrapping back towards mid.
T2 is definitely not worth it for them. They should. It's
okay.
Not that it's like do or die at this point, but they really need to get mileage out of this sheep stick too. From Sadoy, he's had it in his inventory for quite some time now, but no picks. Even though Secret's been split pushing all day, I think they try and go for a fake push with, let's say, Death Prophet and Dazzle and Ogre, and then have the two others pick someone off with a Blink Sheep and Coil.
They smoked. They know that Secret are lurking in this woods. They almost walk into Kuroki. They get the blink off. No Hex from Sadoy, though. Kuro too fast on the BKB. Now the TP out will be attempted, and nothing to cancel this one.
Why didn't he sheep first?
He blinked and then silenced, I think.
Yeah, he needed
or
sheep.
just nuked.
That should have been a super easy kill for them.
No, I don't think he actually silenced, but yeah, just blinked and right-click. Didn't sheep right away. If he gets that off, you've got plenty of follow-up damage to bring him down. Or at the very least, his BKB is down for 50 seconds. If there were ever a window, it's got to be now. But they have to go like right now, straight down mid, or the Aegis will be gone.
It's
a tight window.
It's 30 seconds. That's really tight. And
there
they
is
have
no Radiant
up?
Glyph though.
Okay, they can make it work.
Can VP do it? Some people speculated that Group B was the weaker group, but if VP come out this hot and take down Secret, then you've certainly got to say it's more evenly contested than what the viewers thought. And onto the high ground they'll go. BZZ in front. No Aghanim Scepter used by him yet. No ultimate, rather. G, no Exorcism. They stun S4 to start. They silence him to follow the the homing missile comes in, not the courier. And they're going to go for it. Exorcism now popped. Aegis about to wear off. Range racks will fall. Do they try to commit fully for the melee here? They're attempting to do it as safely as possible while Puppey looks, but the Ravage comes through. A good one. Caught 4. Is it enough, though? BKB now used by G. Exorcism still going strong during this time. BZZ face tanking everything. Charging onto the gyrocopter. Kuro just can't stand against it. He'll end up falling. He's got to buy back immediately. And now the Echo Slam for BIGDADDY. Can they find that turn? Flat Cannon's not ready for 15. Exorcism now ends. The arrow hits Yol. It might be too much damage now. With no Exorcism, no Razor, I don't think they can stand and fight any longer. Gyro and Ember can just run them down. They try for the chains. They won't get them, but they get the kill anyway from auto attacks. And now the chase is on. Jottam on the retreat out. S4 with the Sleight of Fist chains. Cooling down momentarily. He gets it too. First bounce right onto him. Grave, TP out. Is it going to happen? Nope, not going to happen. They lose their gem as well. Triple kill for Kuro, and they only got a ranged Rax. It did force out a Gyrocopter buyback, but they lost 4 for that. The lone survivor, your Death Prophet.
Great Ravage by Fly there. Finally comes through with a big one to hit 4, and the only reason it didn't hit 5 was because Death Prophet Yules did.
That's tough. VP have the tools to deal with it if they're faster. They've got double BKB, double Yules, but it's just so hard to get the timing right. They do still continue the item progression, though. G narrowly jaunting away from an arrow. And he gets caught by a chains. S4's going to go on him, right-click him a few times, but there's a fresh and shiny Shiva's picked up. And he won't commit too much further, but now, Ben, they get a refresher on the tide. VP might have some Yule Scepters and some BKBs, but they don't have too many. BZZ do get out with Kuro. If he dies here, it would be a dieback. He hasn't used his ultimate yet, though. Still holding Eye Up the Storm. Now he's going to commit it. S4 will fall to this. That's an Ember out of the fight. Do they get the Kuro kill? That's the big one. No teleport. Coil's there. They try to keep him alive. Secondary Ravage. Is this going to be good enough from Simba? On to 3, on to 4. He caught. BZZ brings down Kuro. It's a dieback for him, but everyone else falling. G, no Exorcism for 15. VP just didn't have enough left in the tank, and now they chase onwards. They buy back on the Razor. They buy back on the Ogre. They know there's no Ravages for a very long time. They have Exorcism ready. VP want to take a lane of Rax, and they'd better because they just gave up a lot of kills.
The thing is, they can only take one melee rack. That's almost guaranteed that they're going to take it because Gyrocopter's down, but they can't swing by because the other two T2s are still up. And I don't think they have enough resources to go for the throne right now. So, oh no, that's a pretty big win for Secret, I'd say. Well, not a big win, but a slight win for them.
And it's also just, it's got to be frustrating VP at this point. Like, with the advantage they had, you'd think they would have easily taken it. Do they even Exorcism for this? There's a glyph. They have their Razor ult. They're going to try and hold Exorcism. Maybe they go for a tier 2 push bottom next.
They could go for throne. It's either throne or just back off.
There's no Ravages. A throne might not be the worst idea, honestly, but there's an Echo Slam for BIGDADDY. Who needs Tidehunter? We've got Earthshaker. Is it actually sufficient, though? S4 now silenced. Chased out by G. They get their multicast on Fly. He's down for 70. Doesn't have Ravages for longer than that regardless. And they go for the top lane. Actually looking for Puppey. They're still a tier 2 here. They can't take a second lane of Rax. Again, BIGDADDY! He keeps on delivering with these initiations. Awesome jumps from the Earthshaker. They'll get 4 as the trade. It's probably G going down here too. Exorcism wearing off. Everybody from Secret straight onto him. Sure, they're using buybacks, but they're getting big kills. G completely surrounded. Can he retreat out? Yule Scepter at the ready. He'll try for the teleport. That ain't gonna happen. BIGDADDY with the big saves. No tail, just bailed Secret out.
Wow, that was the biggest play I've seen Earthshaker make in a really long time.
Since Lanham at MLG Columbus, I don't think we've seen a bigger Earthshaker in like over a year.
What a hold by him. It was a little bit easier for him because of Ember Spirit and his chains to hold him in place, but still, versus that many BKBs and that amount of damage, wow.
Ground pound. So they push in now.
I mean,
they may try for it.
They can even just go for Aegis Cheese.
There's multiple buybacks here. They used 4 buybacks on VP. They have nothing available. So this will at least be damage to the tier 3 mid. There is a glyph. They're going to jump in. Deeper onto G they go. VP somewhat self-destructing here. There's a grave onto G to try and keep him alive. Everyone from Secret thinking about a retreat out, but they don't really want to. Kuro will BKB, and they get the kill. Death Prophet out of the game for 110 seconds. Can VP even hold at this point? They did lose their Mirana. The Earthshaker is low. Maybe it's a sacrifice that keeps the tier 3 up. Still the gold, man. Look at that swing. They climb from 10,000 down now to 5,000 up with many buybacks used by both teams. So I suppose in that sense it evens out. But it's not like Kuro has been, and S4 have been getting uncontested kills here.
Well, they can swing by for a Roshan. I think that's not terribly bad for VP, or for Secret rather, just because VP, they can't really fight in the pit without Death Prophet. And at the same time, Secret have really good Roshan fighting heroes with the Ravage, and double Ravage actually at that.
And the burst damage from Secret is just starting to become a problem. Like, you get the Blink Ravage, you Sleight of Fist if S4 gets a crit, that's a support dead. You just lose your Ogre, you lose the Dazzle perhaps. Even Razor, that's like a third, a half of his health instantly down the drain, and then it becomes hard to fight from there. And with Double Ravage, finally we can see the full power of the Secret team fight. Double Ravage, masked AoE from Cleave, from the Gyrocopter Flak. They set up on Yol with the chains to start. Buyback situation is bleak for both teams. 0 buybacks in play, most of them from cooldown, and there's 2 heroes that are like 600, 700 gold short. So overall, don't expect any buybacks. This will be an absolute deathmatch mid lane.
Well, they've been wasting a lot of time. I'm surprised they didn't go for easy Roshan.
Fissure onto BZZ. Now the Ravage, it only barely catches him, and there's a Grave waiting. Secondary Ravage can be used. He refreshes. He gets double multi, only one multi-guess. It was a double, but only one that's a stun, rather, as they will hold the line for now. VP will respawn their Death Prophet, and it seems Secret not quite able to crack the base. That was just a bit too ambitious of a blink from Simba.
And both of the T3s on top and mid are very, very low at this point too. VP, before they just try to charge up mid and just don't worry about the loss in top, but they can't make that play anymore.
Big Daddy lumbering through the river. He'll blink into the Roche pit. Now he gets eyes on it. He knows it's up. And VP are smoked during this time. Remember, still no buybacks on anyone. Gyro is going to have one in 30 seconds, though. He's got the gold for it already. But Big Daddy's in position. Can he reveal the smoke gank? He will. Now he tries to retreat out or forward from Sidoi. Do they jump in? Not going for Puppey. Instead, they're looking for Big Daddy. They coiled him. They're committing a lot for this Earthshaker, just in terms of the time investment, if nothing else. And they don't even get that. They just multicast some creeps to try to retreat. But Secret take advantage of this. They push in the top lane.
Another big play by No Daddy, just popping the smoke and then
No Daddy.
No Daddy getting out right there too. That's huge. He knew exactly what VP were up to. Try and smoke into the Roach pit or smoke and get a kill and then go for a Roche.
They're taking the tower top. The glyph was already used. A very slow retreat. Attempted fissure, just missing one more here that was running. But they found Kuro with the Hex. Force Staff was ready from Fly. We'll get him out safely. Now he BKBs. He continues retreat. He has no BOT cooldown. But VP are not going to chase him any further. Yeah, Big Daddy almost canceled a TP there at the last second. Don't know if they would have killed that hero. Their cores were top, but he has been all over the place on this Earthshaker. You can ban his Wisp, you can pick his Ogre. He'll still make things happen on other heroes.
Yeah. Oh wow. I'm super impressed by No Tail Shaker. And still, Roshan, next point of contest, especially with this many buybacks being on cooldown, and Death Prophet can't really play offensive either. She's always scared about getting chain stun from her Fissure into the Blink Enchant, into the Ravage, and then the arrow. There's just so many things that she doesn't want to get hit by that first stun.
They've got eyes on Puppey. He walked up several ramps. He has backup coming. Hex was used. And then again with the fissures. Big Daddy is probably going to give VP an aneurysm if this keeps up. This is just infuriating from their perspective. And now they look for the jump in on S4. He's going to Sleight of Fist the creep wave, just trying to prevent VP from gaining any momentum. Then he zips past them with the Flame Remnant, running circles around VP.
Yeah, he also has 6,000 gold. Could get a Rapier if he wanted to, but it's not that desperate yet.
Yeah, I don't think you want to risk giving this Razor a Rapier. They're doing a lot of damage to begin with. We'll see, though. In good news for Secret, BKB cooldowns are getting low. It's a 7-second cooldown on the Razor BKB. It's a 5-second on G. So that gives more time for your Tidehunter to wait for the Ravage openings. He doesn't have to jump in first. They can let the Earthshaker or the Arrow do that. Or even the Ember, potentially. And then once the BKBs are down, just look for the GG Ravage.
Yeah, BZZ is still at 7 seconds, though, so still not in the clear yet.
Secret dewarding now, but they're in a precarious position. Yo tried to jump, but in Big Daddy we trust seems to be the game plan. Arrow, say hello to the lumbering Ogre.
They've been really good about Force Staffs too on the Hex. And I think because of that, they can get away with the Rapier on S4. I still don't think they're in that position of risk, but they could if they wanted to. I don't think he'll die.
VP are tanky. They're not like ultra tank mode yet, though.
No AC. They
Yeah,
really
no
need AC.
The
on
Razor's
the
a
Razor.
little bit underfarmed, 16,000 net worth. I mean, he's got a solid inventory, but it's not like your late game Razor. We are 47 minutes in. Been slow to approach it, but at least it's felt like a shorter game. But now it does begin to grind to a halt. Secret not forcing anything, VP not either. They smoked. It was not spotted by the Radiant, yet the creep wave mid is being pushed in, so they're going to get a little suspicious. And G was actually not smoked. They'll be in front for now. Puppey firing an arrow. It will spot G up on the high ground. They don't see anyone else.
They know that
But
everyone
they
else
know.
is there. Yeah. Man, Secret's just playing exceedingly
Oh, they
well
found
on these
S4.
smokes.
Coil's there. They use the Hex maybe a tiny bit too early. Can they keep the chain still going? Now the follow-up silence. He will end up dropping most likely. Force Step, not enough to save him. Big Daddy with the fissure to use to try and disengage. 110 seconds dead on the Ember because he bought back earlier. Does he have to use a buyback? Doesn't seem like it. Kuro's able to push in the top lane. Sidoi searches for this kill too. BKB insta-TP. And if he was watching bottom, which he probably was, he knows the Hex is on cooldown. So there's just no way to kill him anyway, even without that BKB. But he'll play it safe and use it.
Yeah, his life is far too important to take risks like that. To not pop BKB, that is.
Yeah, especially at this stage of the game. He did have buyback, but you're closing in on a new big item. G, caught by a fissure, now an arrow, no follow-up. Just Secret letting VP know that if they want to hit that combo, they certainly can. The Ogre is not afraid, though. He just walks right up onto the high ground.
So Ember could buy back, but he doesn't have an easy way to get to the fight. And they don't really want to give him this Aegis. Looks like Ghosts are committed, though.
Arrow connects, but these arrows don't do damage. They're just about the setup. The Fissure blocks them into the pit, but that's where they want to be anyway. Now the orb towards the high ground on the puck of Sadoy. And Roche will fall. This beats 2 minutes with no exorcism. VP won't be going to break the base just yet. At least shouldn't be. Well, Refresher's up, though.
They could even get 2 Rapiers, one on Kuro and one on Ember.
I feel like Kuro's a bit squishy. The Ember, it really comes down to the supports then. They have to have complete faith in the Force staffs if they want to risk that.
Easy. Easy forces.
Well, you're certainly confident. VP now, double ultimate available for the Death Prophet. So if they win a fight, can go for the GG. Use the first ultimate, take like a tier 3, or take a tier 2, maybe a tier 3 and a first lane of Rack. Second ult, go for the throne, go for a second lane, or just straight throne it with the double ultis. They don't have their double ult on BZZ though. He works towards his AC. He's actually got a complete. G did use his Refresher immediately. I guess with the new cooldown and Exorcism, there's no reason not to just use it instantly. So he has an Exorcism ready if there's a fight.
Yeah, Secret has, what, 3 Force staffs, 4 if you count the Refresher. VP still having a troublesome time pushing out the lanes, and imagine if Secret weren't actually down racks. They'd be in such a better position than now, being able to perhaps just swing by and get that top rack. 7,500 gold lead for Secret. Buybacks available on the big heroes on Secret, Ember, and Gyrocopter, and looks like maybe a Rapier.
Oh, Moonlight Shadow. There's not 5 heroes top for VP, only a few. They do not want to be sitting top lane any longer, and they are backing off. If they head straight back, they should be okay. Big Daddy doesn't have any eyes, but he is looking for openings. And Yo will be the first one revealed. They used their Dazzle. Maybe they know. They were ready for that. They did not have a ward top or any eyes on that rotation at all, but they just seemed to suspect it. At least I didn't see any vision. Well, Kuro's done a nice job of stalling this game. He went for early BOTs on Gyro, not something you see very
but
often.
he TP'd to the right side, and
He
now
may have to run back now. I think he's heading right back.
Yeah.
The line is drawn top lane by actually the Radiant side. Fly is saying you need to get your ass back here right away, Kuro. We're going to need you for the high ground defense. At the same time, though, S4's pushed in the mid lane. Despite not really having traditional split push heroes, they're making it work anyway. VP under the gun just a little bit.
Well, they actually back off of the push on top. I guess they don't want to fight without the buck there.
But Puppy's looking to cut them off. Waiting for an arrow opening? Not going to bother. They don't really have any follow-up for this. They start to group. Kuro not too far off. He's got a Demon Edge. Hasn't bought anything just yet. Oh, no, actually he is. Chrysalis. Okay, he's going. Not going Rapier yet.
The safe build.
It's like you said, it's not like a you need Rapier game. It's like you could get one and it might help win you the game, but it is risky.
Yeah. Not necessary at all. Still not yet.
Like, can you imagine a Bloodlusted Razor who goes from 18,000 net worth suddenly up to 25,000 with the backup of an Ogre's Bloodlust? He becomes the hardest carry in this game instantly with a Rapier. Still, G pushing in the middle lane, and still VP not committing to a full-on 5-man death ball.
I don't think
They've got 2 minutes.
It's really difficult to win this fight, though, because Ember and Gyro both have buybacks.
It seems like they maybe want to push in mid and then just run into the top lane, but, well, they're like kind of debating it, but they're not actually going for it.
If they debate for too long, though, he's not going to have his Aegis anymore on Razor.
Triple Daedalus. 2 on S4, 1 on your Kuroki Gyrocopter.
Faith in the Force staffs. Doesn't even go for the BKB.
If they go for double Rapier after this, if this somehow gets clowny, this could become extremely interesting very quickly. Where's Havost when you need him, man?
Uh-oh. Fly.
Into the tree line he goes. The puck is hunting him. Does have a teleport scroll. Coil was used already. He doesn't have a BKB, though, and there is a Hex waiting. They use Moonlight Shadow to try and keep him out safely, and now he's in biz. They lob in the stun, though. The follow-up toss is there, and it looks like Simba will end up going down. Buyback is ready. Not the biggest loss, but still a nice pick-off for VP, and nothing else claimed by Secret on the back of that.
Even Big Daddy's pushing bottom.
Why not? You just saw 5 top. He looks to be going for a Refresher, perhaps. He's got that Rain of Health. Could just be a casual Rain of Health, I suppose.
He's making big enough plays to get a Refresher.
Yeah. It's certainly the case. And the Earthshaker becomes even more relevant as this game goes on, with the BKBs wearing down.
The mid T3. Oh no. Wow, falls for free. Okay.
Hey, Ogre's got to farm that Aghanim Scepter, man. He's actually been very slow to get it. 54 minutes in with the start he had. We've seen a lot of Ogres pick up eggs way before this. And they're close to losing their tier 3 bottom. They're getting split pushed pretty hard considering Secret's draft.
They are. This is where the puck should be just like manhandling them. He got the Tidehunter on top, but aside from that, how many picks has he gotten on split pushing heroes? Almost none.
Well, there's only been 2 kills. Oh, actually, sorry, no. There's been like absolutely nothing kill-wise for a very long time, aside from that Tidehunter top, which for some reason doesn't seem to be showing up on the graph.
Yeah, gold earned is 2,000 difference in between the two teams.
What a tightly knit game. Net
So-
worth a little bit more in favor of the Radiant. It's still close.
Objective 1 complete, outlast the ages for Secret, and now just need to keep split pushing. Ranged barracks on top, 450 HP. Mid lane exposed as well, so things could get really hairy for VP really quickly. But at the same time, Secret, if they ever let VP get to their base, the Refresher, Death Prophet with 3,100 HP and 30 armor, she is a tank.
Secret do have good nuke damage, and that could be. I guess there's the double BKB. So G is looking at 10 seconds of magic immunity here. Oh no, Sadoy, you can't get caught like this. Picked off by Secret. Does he have buyback? He does. Fortunately for them, they have 2 heroes that don't. Death Prophet and Ogre. 80 seconds on the sidelines, and unlike Secret, VP don't really split pushes effectively. So they're forced back into their base. They may be forced to use this buyback as well.
Yeah, they're going to have to buy back.
Secret are going to make them.
Well, Kuro, is he going to pick up a Satanic or what as his next item?
He's getting towards 6-slotted rapier, or 6-slotted gyro territory. Maybe that includes a rapier. And S4 now has a Remnant buyback if needed. They also have a Boots of Travel buyback, so both Secret carries can rejoin the fight. They even have, they're close to a Simba Boots of Travel buyback as well. They have 5 buybacks now. Most of them can rejoin the fights, and they go in mid. 2 Hero Fisher to start. Now the Ravage, no hesitation from Fly. Secondary Ravage is incoming. Got off the Anchor Smash, and they burst G low. He does get off the Grave. Now Sadoy blinks in. G has a BKB, he's going to pop it right away, just runs for the hills. That leaves Sadoy in no man's land. The gem hits the deck. They're going to lose Sadoy as well. Bit of miscommunication here from VP going in with the puck, losing BZZ as well, crumbling under the pressure, and Secret lump just charge forward for Jotum. They don't actually commit too much, trying to flak off this tower to kill him off. Kuro won't actually get the flak bounces needed. Now they turn. They've got the Razor ultimate, Exorcism going as well during this time, but Kuro stands and tanks through it as best he can. They begin to zap him repeatedly. His armor is dropping fast. A nice vigil from BIGDADDY, staggering the retreat here for Secret. No more Ravages, but confidence from their carries on to BZZ. Again, the Graves from Jotum, keeping them alive as he continues to march forward. BZZ will pop his cheese, will try and finish off S4, who zips to the left, then to the right, completely confusing them. And while that's happening, Curls into through the bottom. He's trying to take a first lane of Rax here. It will be secured, it looks like. No, Boots will travel out immediately. Can they cancel this? Can they cancel it? Not going to happen. Nobody can come in, and while they're busy rotating bottom, it's G who falls mid, most likely. One more slice from the Tidehunter. Secret finding the openings here late game. That Razor doesn't have buyback. The Death Prophet might have to use it, dead for 90 seconds. Buyback status on Secret, they have everything. Great win for them.
It's all set up by BIGDADDY again, stunning those two, putting them in position to get hit by Ravage without a chance to BKB. And command Earthshaker, please.
Yeah. It's just the range of Fissure, and No-Tail playing it so incredibly well. He finds another Fissure. Onto BZZ. Again, there's no Ravages. I don't know if they fully go for this, but they can definitely chip away at him. Ogre looking for those legendary multicasts, not really getting too many when he desperately needs them. They silence S4, and they charge it onto him, begin to steal his damage, but Kuro stands strong. He zones them back for now. Exorcism was used. This was the Refresher Exorcism. Won't have one for a long time. They already lost the Mirana. They are focusing BIGDADDY. He's used all his stuns just to slow down BZZ. S4 taking too much damage from the Ghost. Will end up dropping. They've lost one. They may lose more. Kuro fights it out. Wins the man fight. Turns for more. The buyback from S4. Straight back in. This might be GG. No Razor buyback at this point. He already used it. That's a dieback for him. Death Prophet, no Exorcisms. They basically got nothing, Ben. just a bunch of limp bodies that can't offer.
And they still have Ravage. One more Ravage and it could be game.
Could be 2 Ravages. Only 30 seconds on that. Maybe just 1. This looks to be the... Oh, we don't want to fight recap now. We want to throne if we're Secret. Pushing through the mid. They'll take 2 lanes of Rax. They look for the Megas. They use Leap to get a little bonus attack speed. And this Rax will begin falling. It's Mega Creeps for Team Secret. It looked like a rough start for them. VP had them where they wanted them early, but they just couldn't keep them down. Too much good movement from Secret. Too many good fights. They hang on here. And with Megas and still with a buyback on their core gyrocopter, it will be tough for VP to turn this one around. Nearly impossible. They force out a BKB on G. Oh, missile will come in. It's going to dink him as he goes back to the well. He will survive there, but this gives time for Secret now. Looking at their current gold, they've got plenty. 8K gold up on Kuro. Still has the power tread, so he's basically 7 slotted if he wants it. And they just right-click down the towers. Tier 4 about to drop. Secret looking for their opening win here in Group B action. They'll be to top the standings after this one. It is only the first match. And they close in now, another fissure. This one onto G, and commitment, 4-staff, Ravage on the way, and it's a drive-by from Simba. Second one caught more. Yo, as well as Jadam, Sadoy 2, GG. Secret bounce back and take a very convincing win here in the end.
That was
well
really
played.
scary for them. The protected Death Prophet just was the bane of their existence. Oh my goodness.
BIGDADDY MVP.
Yeah, BIGDADDY bailed them out of that one.
So hard.
Oof.
If he doesn't win them that fight mid, they lose the game. Or they definitely lose the lane of Rax and have like the steepest hill ever to climb back up. Well, in the end, Team Secret.
Man, VP looked
They
crushed.
struggled more than I expected
Jeez,
that game.
look
Ben.
at VP. They look so sad.
They knew they had a Secret in a good position. They just couldn't close the deal.
I mean, I wouldn't actually think that they... I mean, what could have they done better? They could have defended against a split push a little bit better, made better use of the sheep, not get owned by Echo Slams.
Recipe for success, guys. Don't get owned by Echo Slams.
They did a couple of times.
They did. They really did. Well, I think, honestly, it was just the positioning wasn't always perfect. Like that one team fight mid, the other thing is that Fly caught the backlines with Ravage. He caught the Dazzle was the key thing. Couldn't pop out multiple heals. Only the Death Prophet Yule Scepter dodges it. I mean, it's hard to dodge Ravage, right? But had they been able to BKB on a few, maybe Yule's the tide right away as he jumps in, perhaps it's a different fight.
I mean, a couple of things went wrong for each team in the early game. I think that Fly could have had better Ravages in the early game. They wouldn't have been in that position to lose a Rax. If G had snowballed harder after his fantastic start, also, Secret wouldn't have been able to come back and split push like that. If Sadoy had picked off those split pushes a little bit more, et cetera, et cetera. So all these small things here and there, and I mean, VP come out looking real strong.
Now, I think VP looks a lot better than expected.
Yes.
Even though they lose this game, people were saying, like, this is the joke group or the really easy group. You've got Execration, the SA team, who's got a little bit more to prove, and VP, who was, did not look that strong in the group stage. But with VP's performance here, this group it's not safe to say that Navi is like a guaranteed top 2. Well, anyway, Ben, with that said, we see our players of the game, I guess you would say. G did play pretty well, S4 too. I feel BIGDADDY was the MVP for sure, though.
I think BIGDADDY was MVP.
Okay. Well, with that said, guys, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll break down this match, and we'll look forward to our next one. Starladder Season 10, day number 1, just getting started here in Kiev.
esportsbets.com, the service where gamers will bet real money on virtual events. Only here, the best odds and widest coverage of games from Dota 2 to Hearthstone. We have over 200,000 users registered. Join us. Prove that you are the best versed in esports. Who will get the first blood? Who will take the first Roshan? Who will win the knife round? Participate in the race of predictors and earn real money. The more bids, the more bonuses. Reward for your first deposit up to $600. esportsbets.com. Foresight, passion, and calculation.
Захват БКБ, кулдаун по 4. Какая просто невероятная дамага!